5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
A Lake St. Louis man arrested on child sex charges. Investigators think he's a serial predator and say more young victims may be out there. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Enrique White is charged with rape, sexual abuse, and child molestation of a 12-year-old. He is 28. Our Justina Cornell joins us in studio with details.
Mike and Ann, so that 12-year-old girl came forward, and shortly after, the Lake St. Louis Police Department started digging. And investigators soon learned White's been accused of similar crimes in the past. Now, police believe there may be more victims across the region and even in other states.
Social media can be a connector, connecting different people in just seconds. It's a platform Lake St. Louis Police Chief believes one man is using to gain access to innocent users.
We believe that our suspect is a repeat offender.
28-year-old Enrique White is charged with several counts, including rape and sexual abuse against a 12-year-old. Now, police think he's connected to others.
There has been other information that we've received where there were adults that were targeted also. We've had reports that, he utilized perhaps even alcohol or narcotics or even the date rape drug to incapacitate victims and such.
Investigators are accusing White of using several dating apps, disguising himself with different aliases, and then using intimidation tactics to keep victims quiet.
Fake identities, aliases, other formats that the predators are using because it just allows them to keep that anonymity. It allows them to not be caught. And if a parent does find something on the phone, obviously it's harder for them to be able to figure out who it actually is, and therefore less likely to take it to law enforcement.
Director of Forensic Services Amy Robbins at the Child Advocacy Center knows how quickly predators act.
On average, when we have profiles or do operations looking for those who are targeting kids, it is a matter of seconds from that ad being posted or that account being created before a predator starts targeting them. Seconds is scary.
Now, police are the ones trying to reach as many people across the region to make a connection.
If we can put all the pieces together, then I think that we can build a stronger case, and that's why we're trying to embolden those victims out there.
This week, a judge said White is a danger to both the crime victim and the community. He ordered him to remain behind bars on a $500,000 bond.
Justina, thanks. Now to an update on a developing story in Iron County, Missouri. The state attorney general is trying to get the Iron County sheriff removed from office. Sheriff Jeff Burkett and 2 of his deputies were charged in March in connection with a kidnapping plot. Investigators say they tried to help a man kidnap his daughter from her mother following a domestic dispute. Burkett is still in his position, so Attorney General Andrew Bailey has filed a lawsuit to get him out of office.
They thought they would be able to conduct this criminal enterprise undetected, and fortunately the system worked in this instance and is working to hold these individuals accountable, and my portion of that process is to remove the Iron County Sheriff from office.
Sheriff Burkett's attorney said today he is disappointed that the Attorney General is moving ahead with the removal proceeding before any of the allegations have been proven in court.
Prosecutors have charged a St. Louis man after a police chase that ended with a violent crash. 6 people were hurt, including 2 police officers. 5 on your side's Elise Schoenig joins us live from the Bridgeton Police Department after talking with the mayor about what happened here. Elise.
Well, this all played out late last night in North St. Louis County, and the mayor of Bridgeton says car thefts that sparked incidents like this one are a huge problem in society. Wednesday night, police say they were called to a Walmart in Bridgeton for a report of a stolen car. When they arrived, they say 39-year-old Daniel Kepler was driving the car near Fifi Road.
And then as the officers pulled behind him, he put it into reverse and slammed the truck back into one of our vehicles.
Bridgeton Mayor Terry Briggs says things escalated from there.
It was at that point that the officer returned some fire because of a fear that the individual was trying to threaten and do bodily harm to those officers.
Police say they then followed Kepler, and he ended up crashing into 2 other cars. That's where they took him into custody.
Police acted very astutely in this, in my belief. They protected both the individual residents of the city of Bridgeton as well as property.
The mayor says incidents like these are more of a rarity in the city of Bridgeton.
We haven't had it as much on this. Sometimes we do get these because we're located with 3 interstate highways in the city of Bridgeton.
He says Bridgeton and other cities in St. Louis County combined resources to fight auto theft. The sharing of this wealth of resources is known as saturation patrolling.
We coordinate efforts so that if one jurisdiction reports an auto theft or tampering and the individual thieves or suspects are being pursued, The others know about it, and because of some of our camera systems we have in place, we're able to pursue those individuals.
In a time where auto theft is just the start of what can become a violent crime, the mayor says we can all play a part.
Unfortunately, in our society right now, we're finding, and especially here in St. Louis County at times, that auto theft is an increasing issue that becomes somewhat of a problem for us.
Now, online records do show that Kepler has a previous criminal history. He had pleaded guilty to theft back in January for a different crime. We are reporting live here in Bridgeton. Elise Schoenig, 5 on your side.
Well, a hidden danger is lurking in the air around us. Air quality continues to be an issue today, and we have 2 reports tonight. Let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who's live at Pere Marquette State Park in Grafton. Scott.
Well, that's right, Mike. And, you know, we've been talking about this for the last several days. Wildfire smoke in the northeast. Some of that's filtered our way, but it hasn't been terrible for us. It's been a much bigger deal farther to the east. You look out into St. Charles right now, the camera here gives you a good view, and you can see it's a little bit hazy in that area at this point. Temperatures have been pleasant, the air is very dry, but here is the lowdown on this as we move our way through the day today. We have seen the air quality in that moderate category, much worse along the East Coast, red and maroon in spots. So, you know, we're moderate right now. That's our current. The forecast for tomorrow puts it right on that cusp of going into the unhealthy for sensitive groups. Again, it's kind of borderline, and it's particulate matter. So it's not the ozone. This would be from the smog, or rather from the wildfire smoke and pollution particles that are in the air that we breathe. So we'll talk more about why we're at Pere Marquette in just a little bit, but the air quality this evening is okay if you need to be outside.
And the beautiful weather is bringing people outside. The air quality could be a problem for people with asthma, allergies, or other breathing problems, as Scott was explaining. Tracy Hinson is live in Forest Park with the warning from local lung specialists. Tracy.
And it's a hard warning to follow on days like today, but it's stay inside during the peak heat of the day.
If you have the opportunity and option to not be outside during the heaviest times of the day, when it's the hottest and when the air pollution is at the highest towards the mid-afternoon and later afternoon, you should try to stay inside and avoid activities during those times.
Advice that's hard to follow on days like this.
If you're outside and you're around trees and sunshine, I think that's a good place to be.
But it's trees, not our trees, but the ones on fire in Canada causing a problem.
It just looks like a sci-fi movie with just how hazy and yellow it is.
Haze, well, not that bad, has made its way to St. Louis.
There's not a whole lot of difference between cigarette smoke and wildfire smoke when it gets to the lungs.
Levels of smoke particulates are high enough to pose a health risk.
For patients that have say asthma or have say emphysema or other lung diseases like that, it can actually cause their lungs to age prematurely. And for even healthy patients, if they really are exposed to this in long periods of time, it can lead to long-term effects in the future.
And it's for that reason that Forest Park goer Jenna Scott is taking it easy.
I'd say keep it to walking, probably.
Good advice there. And looking up at the blue sky doesn't paint the whole picture for air quality. You'll want to check with the National Weather Service or follow our Weather First forecast for the latest on our air quality numbers. Live in Forest Park tonight, I'm Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.